Alright, what would happen if I did this or if I tried that? Hey, what's going on? My name is Luis Angel. You are watching AE Mind. I am your friendly neighborhood bald-headed Mexican kid. Just playing, actually. I am Mexican, but anyway. For today's video, I actually want to get into that opener, right? I asked a question. What would happen if I did this? You see, I've had many times in the past where I've had that situation where I just didn't know how to, say, get started on something new, or I would run into a problem, right? And I'm like, how do I fix this? Instead of just running away from my problem, I would be like, okay, what would happen if I tried this, right? Or what would happen if I tried that? And sometimes I would get positive results, sometimes I would get negative results. But what I would do is just take those negative results, throw them out, learn from them, right? And then I would just focus on doing the things that did work. You see, I used to work for a satellite TV company, and I used to actually be a service technician or troubleshoot technician, meaning I would go and let's say you had a problem with your TV, you couldn't get any signal, you couldn't get your favorite TV shows, your Kim Kardashian shows, or your basketball shows, all that good stuff, right? If you had a problem with it, you would give the company a call and they would send me out there to go fix it. And what would happen is sometimes, especially when I was first starting off in this position, I would arrive to a house and I would be like, okay, what's your problem? Well, I can't get these certain channels. And I would be like, alright, let's figure out why you're not getting those channels, right? So then I'll be like, okay, get my ladder out, go up to the dish, you know, go up there and realign it, make sure the dish was pointed right where it needs to be pointed at to hit the satellites at the right direction. And I'll check the signal, go back down and be like, okay, you're still not getting your channels. What's the problem? At that point, instead of just running away and saying, okay, customer, you figure it out on your own, I'm like, okay, what would happen if I did this? Right? So I would go back up and maybe I would replace the cable and come back down. I'd be like, okay, it's still not working. So then what I would do is I would go back up and maybe replace another piece, another hardware piece of this big elaborate puzzle the cable system runs. So I would go back and replace that and then be like, okay, okay, great, that fixed the problem. Now you're getting all new channels, right? So I would always ask myself those kind of questions, like, what would happen if I tried this? What would happen if I tried that? And if it didn't work, I'll be like, okay, don't do that next time. Maybe do something else. Go right back to the source that did give you the fix, the solution, the next time you come to that same problem. So that's exactly what would happen the next day or maybe a few days later. If I would run to a similar situation where they were missing the exact same channels, I would go right up to that piece, that hardware piece that had fixed that problem the last time around, right? So I would finish a job. The first time it would take me like maybe an hour or two, and then that second time when I run into that same problem, the same situation, I would fix it within, say, 10 minutes because I had already in my mind gone right to the solution. I took out what didn't work and focus on what did work, right? That's what I want to encourage you to do. Ask those type of questions, especially when you're about to do something new. You might be a little scared, a little hesitant to get started, but just be like, you know what? Who cares? Let me run some experiments, right? Because that's all I would be doing, just running experiments. What would happen if I did this? I would hypothesize, okay, maybe this would fix the problem, and it didn't, so then I would run a new experiment, right? So just run these little experiments with your own life on a regular, consistent basis, and you would see that you'd be like, okay, you start figuring things out. You start seeing progress in achieving your own goals, and you'd be like, okay, this is kind of cool. So ask that question, what would happen if you get a negative answer, like, what would happen if I did this? Oh, I'll freaking get electrocuted and I'll explode. Be like, okay, you know what, you're probably being a little too dramatic at that point, and just be like, no, focus on the positive. Try to focus more on the positive. Okay, this might fix the problem, and then go ahead and just try it out. If it works, great. If it doesn't, again, just remove it and then go on and try something new. That's it for today. That's my tip. More curious about a situation, experiment more, and then just ask that question, what would happen if I tried this? And then go out and do that. So that's it for right now. Let's go. Keep pushing forward. AEmind.com. My name is Luis Angel again, and I am out. Make sure to subscribe, like, share this video with all your friends. Comment down below. Let me know what you liked about this.